In this lesson, we're going to talk about color, coloring music, coloring your scales, coloring your chords. I mentioned this a lot in my previous years of teaching, but music is kind of like painting. You've got something, you've got an object you want to paint, and you've got a lot of different colors out there to paint. Some colors are going to work really well, others are going to be a little bit more obscure, we'll say, standing out a little bit more, but nonetheless, they're still colors and you're allowed to use them if you want. We're going to talk about specific colors that David likes to use in his music. Now, we mentioned previously the penta system, the pentatonic system, that 5-note scale, which is very convenient because it includes the notes of your triads, the chords. The minor pentatonic system includes the root, minor, third, fifth. The major pentatonic system includes the root, major, third, fifth, which are the 3 notes of your chords. And we're just adding 2 extra notes. We'll call these 5 notes the base color. Everything needs to be painted with these colors. Let's just make up a rule. And we're going to add some extra colors, and that's where you can be free to do experiment to these 5 notes. So the base color, let's talk about the minor system a little bit. For the minor pentatonic, we have root, minor third, there's no second, that's one of the colors we're going to add. Fourth, fifth, minor seventh, there's no sixth, that's one of the other colors we're going to add. So we're going to be able to use a type of second and a type of sixth that we're going to apply to our base color, the minor pentatonic scale. Now you should know that these 2 extra colors we're using, the second and the sixth, there's several tones of these colors. Like there's light blue and dark blue, for example. For the minor chord, we can add the second and the sixth. The second, the color of the second can be minor second or major second. They both have different types of feelings, kind of. You know, you can put a certain feel to these colors. Same for the sixth, minor sixth, major sixth. So if I play a chord, a minor chord, A minor, and I add to that chord a major second, that's the color it's going to have. If I add to that chord a minor second, different tone. You might like one better than the other, but you're still allowed to use either one. That's okay. Same for the sixth. I can add a major sixth or a minor sixth. Everybody has his own favorite color, and David does too. And David's favorite colors are the major second and the major sixth. That doesn't mean that he never uses the others. He does. But if I think David Gilmour, I think minor pentatonic, major second, major sixth. The second to best color that David uses is major second, minor sixth. And guess what? If I add a major second and a major sixth to a minor pentatonic scale, that has a name. That combination of notes together, if I put them in a bucket, mix all the colors, I'll have the color Dorian. The Dorian scale is a minor pentatonic scale plus a major second and a major sixth. Let's try another combination of colors. Minor pentatonic scale, major second, minor sixth. Put that in a bucket, mix it, you have a different color than the Dorian. Close, but different. That's called the Aeolian color, the Aeolian scale. Aeolian scale, Aeolian mode, Aeolian color all mean the same thing. It's a particular sound that you're going to get, and we talk a lot in terms of colors in music sometimes. Those are the 2 scales that David uses a lot, whether he knows it or not. There's a lot of players out there that know that this is Dorian, others don't, but it doesn't matter because you don't need to know the names of these scales really. It's going to help you communicate with other people, but as long as you hear the color of these scales, that's the important part. As long as you know the type of color you're using, you're allowed to use it. So it's all in the ear. You need to develop an ear for these colors. Now there's another color that is often used, and that's minor pentatonic scale with the minor second and minor sixth. That color is called the Phrygian. But we're going to leave that aside because it's not that much used. If I wanted to sound like Gilmour, Phrygian would not be my first choice. So we're going to concentrate on these 2 colors that David uses a lot, Dorian and Phrygian. And we're going to take a look at how to play them on the guitar. Because you spent a lot of time on the previous lessons, right? You should know the minor pentatonic scale already. And if not, go back and check it out. But minor pentatonic scale, root, minor third, fourth, fifth, minor seventh. You already have 5 of the 7 notes of the big color we're going to use, the Dorian or the Aeolian. Let's talk about the Dorian. That's David's first choice. Think Another Brick in the Wall, Dorian. Think a lot of Gilmour songs, Dorian. So we're going to start with our first position of minor pentatonic scale in A. And our first position is made of the following 5 notes. Those are the 5 notes. And in that first position, I'm repeating these 5 notes until I reach the end of my fretboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So I'm playing in this area of the fretboard right there. So in order, it's root, minor third. It means we're going to place the second somewhere in between. Fourth, fifth, minor seventh. And for the Dorian color, we're going to add a major second and a major sixth. This is how it's played. 6th string, fret number 5 for the root. The major second is found on the 6th string, 7th fret. Minor third, 6th string, 8th fret. Moving on to the 4th, 5th string, 5th fret. The 5th string, 7th fret. The major 6th is found on the 4th string, 4th fret. And minor 7th, which is in our minor pentatonic scale, 4th string, 5th fret. That's the Dorian scale. And we can continue developing that over the first position. Moving on to the 4th string, 7th fret. 3rd string frets 4, 5, 7. 2nd string frets 5, 7, 8. And we'll end with 5, 7, 8 on the 1st string. Here it is all together. Still works on a minor chord because within that shape you still find the 5 shapes that we mentioned earlier, those 5 chord shapes. So your goal right now is to memorize the Dorian scale on all 5 shapes. Play your chord, ascend the full scale, descend the minor pentatonic. Everything is linked together. And do that for the 5 other shapes. Chord, the full scale, minor pentatonic, and so forth. That's for the Dorian scale. The Aeolian scale, which is the next favorite color from our guitar player, David Gilmour, is the Aeolian scale. And in this case, we're going to still use the basic color, the minor pentatonic scale. We're going to add a major second, just like we did for the Dorian, and a minor sixth. Here's how it's played on the first position of A minor, Aeolian. Here it is. String number 6 frets 5 for the root, 7 for the major second, 8 for the minor third. The 4th and the 5th are on the 5th string, frets 5 and 7. The minor 6th is also found on the 5th string, 8th fret, followed by the minor 7th, 4th string, 5th fret. And that's our full 7-note scale. Let's continue developing that over the first position. 4th string fret number 7, 3rd string frets number 4, 5, 7, 2nd string frets 5, 6, 8, and we're going to end with the 1st string frets 5, 7, 8. Here it is all together. And you can fit your chord within that shape. Same deal here. Play the chord, the full scale, minor pentatonic. Same with all the positions. Develop that all over the fretboard, and you'll have the 2 colors that are the most used in that kind of music. In the next section, we're going to take a look at different licks, different examples that are going to use the minor pentatonic scale with an additional note. That's going to give us the full color. Let's check it out. Each one of the following licks are going to have a variation. I'm going to start playing the lick in Dorian, the Dorian color that we mentioned before, which is a minor pentatonic scale with a major second and a major sixth. And then we'll do the variation, which is Aeolian scale, minor pentatonic plus major second, minor sixth. So let's check it out. Here's the first lick. In this lick, we're using a blues pentatonic scale, minor blues. The blue note can always be added, no matter what. And we're descending the blues scale. We're going to start on string number 1, frets 8, 5. Second string, frets 8, 5. Third string, frets 8, 7, 5. Fourth string, fret number 7. That's our minor blues scale in the key of A. And we're ending on the second string, 7th fret. What is that? That's a major sixth. So we're in Dorian. Very Gilmour-ish. The variation of that is simply to change the major sixth to a minor sixth, so that we'll have an Aeolian lick. The minor sixth is always found only a half step below the major sixth. That's how you can transform these licks in their corresponding Aeolian scale. That's for lick number 1. Lick number 2, here it is. This lick is a cool lick because it works in Dorian and Aeolian. Why? Because we're not playing the sixth. We're adding a second, major second, which is found in Dorian and Aeolian. We're using the first position of A minor blues, and here's the first section. We're starting with a bend on the 7th fret, 3rd string, a full step bend, followed by strings 2 and 1 on the 5th fret. We're doing a little bar here. Second string, pull off from 8 to 5. We're going to go on the 3rd string, 8th fret, the blue note, right there, followed by the 2nd string, 5th fret, and then there's 3 notes that are pulled off on the 3rd string, frets 8, 7, 5. Remember, when you pull off, you really pluck the string. Followed by the 4th string, 7th fret, and we're going to land on the major second, which is found on the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, 4th fret. Here it is all together. That's our lick. It can be used in Dorian. Or Aeolian. It's going to work in both keys. Let's check out another lick. Same thing here. The Dorian version and then the Aeolian version. Here's that lick. This lick right here is the Dorian version of that lick because we hear this note, which is the major sixth on the 2nd string, 7th fret. Right here. If I want to change that to its Aeolian alternative, I'm just going to change this note to a minor sixth. Here's the Aeolian version of that lick. We talked about Dorian and Aeolian, these two colors that David uses a lot. Now, these colors are very similar, only the sixth changed. They're very close, yet it's very different. And it's the chords that you're going to play over that are going to really highlight the characteristics of these notes. In order for you to really understand and hear the color of these notes, 2 backing tracks for you. 2 backing tracks in the key of A Dorian and A Aeolian. And I would like you to explore some of the previous licks that we talked about, play them, develop a few ideas using one of these colors, and then move on to the next backing track. If you started with Dorian, go to the Aeolian and try the same licks, but transform that into Aeolian so that you'll be able to really hear the color of these scales, which is very important. Remember, this is music. I know it's a lot of knowledge. We talked a lot about things, but now comes the real work. if you can understand it, you need to play it now. You need to spend a lot more time playing than trying to analyze things and name the notes and all that. So remember, vibrato with the vibrato bar in your hand. Very bluesy. Explore different ways to playing the notes, vibrato, bends, Dorian, Aeolian, and listen to a lot of Gilmour. That's going to help you in your playing. Practice well. I'll see you in the next lesson.